Watch this video is sponsored by Segway Navimow. So TVs at CES have been like a thing for a very long time, but usually the TVs they show here are like crazy concepts. They're like 17 years from now, you can have this in your house. It's where the new tech tends to debut. Usually there's not like a roadmap when that new tech can get into your house. This year CES is actually showing technology that actually has a roadmap to get onto your wall, and some technology that I have like never seen before, nor did I think was ever gonna make it into a TV. So let me show you all the cool TV stuff that we're showing at CES 2024. All right, so let's start like weirdly with translucent. This was a theme I don't think anybody saw coming here at CES. So LG was showing off what they're calling their signature OLED T translucent OLED screen. And that sounds exactly like it is. It is a translucent OLED screen. This is one of those things that is definitely like not going to translate well to video, but let me try to describe it to you. It is a clear display, and when you're watching something on it, it has kind of a 3D effect, but that's only fun for so long. It also has a screen that kind of rolls up along the back that makes it look like a more typical TV. It doesn't look like an actual OLED set now, like their G3 or now their G4, but it does look good. I'm not sure who would use this in their house. Where I can see this being used all the time is in advertising, and then more ads being shown at you, from windows in buildings to windows in walls to even one day maybe the windshield on a car. So LG wasn't the only one getting in the translucent game. Samsung was here as well, showing micro LED. They've got regular translucent OLED as well, but micro LED is the star here. And it is incredibly bright. Images look like they are floating on and behind the screen. It's kind of difficult to describe this unless you're seeing it in person. And the video is probably not going to do it justice. It feels completely three-dimensional. This does not seem like a consumer tech. This seems like something that would be like a luxury business thing. I'm imagining sitting at SoFi Stadium in a skybox and sort of there's a window in front of me that could have these that kind of display information or replays of the game actually happening. But whether we actually end up seeing these or not, translucent technology is incredibly cool. I think like the actual use case for them in the consumer's house, I have no idea. Or even the business use case is like still a big head scratcher. But it was just incredibly cool to actually see these as actual things. So while you're sitting down on the couch watching your new TV, one thing you might not think you could do is actually mow your lawn. Segway's got an answer for you on how to do that with the Navimow, with a full app-connected robot lawnmower. Let me tell you about it. There's been a ton of them on the market, but there's always been some problems with them. Either they come in crazy expensive, or you gotta lay wires for perimeter so it knows where to go. Enter Segway with the Navimow here, looking to solve all of those problems at a low cost, and it's designed by Segway, a company you know and trust. It's got expertise in this area. It's gonna utilize AI to make sure it's navigating the best way and the most efficient way to cut your grass. Obstacle avoidance, of course, is also here, but no physical barriers necessary is gigantic, and that's been something that's been reserved for really high-priced robotic mowers in the past. Segway is bringing it to a much more affordable price. It also looks really good. There's a ton of technology crammed into this. So think about it, if it's your chore to mow your lawn, now you can tell your parents that you're doing it from inside the couch just with the app open. The Navimow does what it is supposed to do, and it does it at a really affordable price. If you're in the market for a lawnmower, or somebody that just hates to mow your lawn yourself, you owe it to yourself to check out the Segway Navimow. It'll be available starting March 1st. If you want to learn more, hit the link down below. All right, so aside from like translucent stuff, there was some real like practical technology it's probably going to see more often. So Samsung was showing off micro LED in a regular set. Now this is still mostly a B2B technology, but we're finally starting to see consumer-friendly sizes. They probably will not be at consumer-friendly prices. So Samsung was showing screens from 140 inches all the way down to 76 inches in size. The screens are still sort of modular, I guess, tiles that snap together, but the seams are so hard to see. In case you're wondering, micro LED is brighter, more efficient, have a higher color accuracy than regular OLED tech. Yeah, pricing was not announced for any of these sets at CES, but Samsung showing a 76-inch size is probably a pretty good sign they plan to get these into homes sooner rather than later. And as all these micro techs start to get into consumers' homes, I think the big differentiating factor between them from different brands is going to be how they hide the seams. Because of power consumption, they have to kind of be tiles inside of a giant display, and I think the more expensive ones will hide those seams better. Samsung also showed off a QD OLED display with an anti-glare coating. I think glare has kind of been a real big issue for OLED TVs. This looks like it could potentially solve it. Sometimes anti-glare has a tendency to sort of bring down the sharpness of a screen, but this seems to maintain that crisp look of OLED. Not quite sure how they did it, but it was weird seeing anti-glare on an OLED and still seeing the bright colors and of course blacks of an OLED. Samsung, LG, and pretty much every other TV brand was showcasing brighter OLEDs too. And I think kind of the old adage about OLED, they're not getting as bright, seems to be a thing of the past. So in my house, I have the LG G2. That's the TV set that I bought and I absolutely love it. But now LG showing off 2 more iterations away from that. With the G4 with MLA. It stands for Micro Lens Array. And they're showing that tech all the way up to 83 inches. This is going to help create kind of an overall brighter and more color accurate image. LG is also expanding their wireless transmission tech into a whole new series. They're calling it the M series. Basically brings all the things you love and I really like about the G series, but just like takes away all the wires completely. Also offers things like G-Sync and FreeSync wireless if you're a gamer as well. I've really loved the Samsung frame TVs. I haven't found a reason to get one for myself yet, but if that's something you're interested in, Samsung did find a way to sort of make the matte finish on their new frame TVs look way more convincing, and now it doesn't look like an illusion. It looks like an actual piece of artwork. And they're also expanding the frame concept into a speaker too, which is weird. They're making a speaker that you can use as framed artwork, kind of better hide and integrate the surround sound speakers into your house. You can make the art whatever you want on that speaker. You take off the panel, change the image, and all the speaker stuff is still right behind it. I've loved seeing the evolution of TV technology throughout CES, and seeing the next generation of stuff here is really huge. Reminded me of the first time I saw OLED, and I couldn't believe that was real. That's kind of the same thing now with seeing micro LED. Technology is getting incredibly good.